to Tim's thoughts. If you get a chance, read the first 14 verses in John chapter 1. I think you'll see, well, one thing that I see, one thing that I get from this passage is that Jesus came as God's ambassador for home. Now, I know that many people in this world, when they think of home, it's not a good thing. But for a few minutes, can we focus on what home is for some and should be for others? John 1:14 says, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." Jesus came as an ambassador for home. Karen was expecting another child, and so she worked to prepare her little 3-year-old son, Michael, for the birth of his baby sister. Every night, Michael would sing to his sister that was in his mother's tummy. During the delivery of the baby, some serious complications developed. After many hours of struggle, Michael's little sister was born. But she was in very serious condition. They rushed her to the neonatal intensive care unit. And instead of getting better, the little girl continued to decline. The pediatric specialist told Karen and her husband there's very little hope. Be prepared for the worst. The parents even contacted a local cemetery about a burial plot. Meanwhile, Michael continued to beg his parents to let him see his sister. "I want to see her, I want to see her," he said. But kids were not allowed in the intensive care unit. The second week of his sister's intensive care stay, Michael's sister looked like she was not going to make it even through the week. So Karen made up her mind that she would take Michael to see his sister, whether the hospital liked it or not. Because if Michael didn't see her right away, he might not ever get to see her. So Karen dressed him up in oversized scrubs and marched him right into the ICU. The head nurse demanded that they leave. But the mama bear instinct rose up strong in Karen, and she looked right at that head nurse with determination, and she said, "He's not leaving until he sees his sister." And Karen took Michael to his sister's crib side, and after a few moments of looking at his sister and all of the tubes that were connected, little 3-year-old Michael began to sing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away." Instantly, the little girl, the little baby started to respond. Her pulse slowed down and became steady. And Karen said, "Sing it again, Michael, sing it again." So he sang, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away." And the strained breathing of his sister became just smooth. And the head nurse now stood transfixed with tears in her eyes. Michael sang that chorus again and again and again. And the next day, the very next day, Michael's little sister was well enough to go home. Home. Isn't that what we all want? And in some way is to be home. Home. A place where imperfection is made perfect. When I'm at home, I'm accepted just as I am. Imperfection is made perfect. Home. A place where we belong. There's always a hug waiting at home. There's always a soothing song at home. We belong. Home, a place where failure finds forgiveness. Check out this failure hall of fame. Moses stuttered. David's armor didn't fit. John Mark was rejected by Paul. Timothy had ulcers. Hosea's wife was a prostitute. Amos was really only good at pruning trees. Jacob was a liar. David had an affair. Solomon was too rich. Jesus was too poor. Abraham was too old. David was too young. Peter was afraid of death. Lazarus was dead. John was self-righteous. Naomi was a widow. Paul was a murderer. So was Moses. Jonah ran from God. Miriam was a gossip. Gideon and Thomas both doubted. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. I'm kidding. Jeremiah was depressed and suicidal. John the Baptist was a loudmouth. Martha was a worrier. Noah got drunk. Moses had a short fuse. So did Peter, Paul, lots of folks. Satan says, "You're not worthy." And Jesus says, "So what? I am." Satan looks at our past and sees our mistakes. God looks back and sees the cross. Satan wants us to wander. God wants us home. It's a place where you can find forgiveness, failure into forgiveness. Home, a place where you can be at peace. Don't let anything rob you of peace. Don't let grief or guilt or grudges rob you of peace. In 1 Peter, it says, "Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time He will exalt you, casting all your anxieties on Him, because He cares for you." Home is where you can find peace. Jesus came as God's ambassador for home. Jesus says, "You matter. You matter to me." Jesus left His home so that we could come home to Him. He came to bring you peace and rest, the kind of rest you can only find at home.